Hello Gemini, welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Gemini, we are going to use my ginormous stack of tea leaf cards for your reading. That, as well as the Modern Spellcasters deck and the teeny tiny Everyday Witch deck. I'm going to ask two questions. I'm going to ask, what is the energy around you right now? And what is the energy around you in the future? It's just the energy around you. Let's see. All right, we ready? Let's get going. All right now. The energy around you right now, you have gavel, involvement with the law. So maybe there's something you're waiting to hear about. Maybe you're involved in a court case. Maybe you're involved in a contract assignment. Maybe you're buying a house, selling a house. Maybe you're splitting up assets. Maybe you're allocating assets. Doing something to do with the law. Maybe you actually even work in the law. Okay, in the future, I don't like that. It feels like too much. Let's see. Okay. This is a really interesting combination. So many cards, but okay. Nobody has had even close to this many cards. Gemini is what you have here. All right. So the very simple thing that we can say about right now for you is involvement with the law. So that's what you got. I don't know. Involvement with the law. You know what I'm getting with that too is like maybe you did something wrong, or maybe you're accused of doing something wrong. The gavel. What's at the bottom? Shark. Take care or there will be a loss of material wealth. Kite, vacation, happiness. Holy shit. Maybe you should go and have a good time. But be careful. Be careful, Gemini. Okay, now what I have here for in the future, you have wall, misunderstanding, kangaroo, unsettled times, need to plan ahead, rainbow. The most difficult part of a situation is over. Bowl, plenty of material things. Well, that's kind of good. Actually, that coming in after a rainbow is almost like, you know, your pot at the end of a rainbow. Then you have grasshopper. Situations in the balance that require careful handling. And then you end with crown. Honor and respect will come to you. That's really interesting because near one of the last things I said about this was maybe there's something going on for you in the law, or somebody's accused you of something. I feel like if that is something that's happening for you, or maybe it could be something as simple as fighting a parking ticket, but honor and respect will come to you. So it does feel like whatever this is, you will be honored and respected in whatever the outcome could be that you're dealing with. There is a misunderstanding. It's just funny, like I'm seeing all these things flashing in my mind. So I'm also seeing like a little boop boop, a couple of cards that came together. I had a boyfriend like years ago. What did he used to call that? Custom by crash. You know, you go to get your car custom detailed. It's custom by crash. So something like that. Like that's a misunderstanding. Unsettled. Yeah, some of you might even be dealing with insurance, an insurance policy or something. It does feel like a win-win. And I want to, this unsettled times, need to plan ahead, but then right away you move into the rainbow. The grasshopper, situations in balance that require careful handling. Okay. This almost feels like something is balanced here. All you need to do is keep it in balance. Just keep doing what you're doing. I'm really getting like if your car or someone else's car, it's so specific. So I know that's not going to be for everybody, but I do feel like, I don't know, you're negotiating something. This will come into balance, and all you have to do is kind of keep that going. The misunderstanding part. So maybe there's you and someone else that can't agree on something here. Now the shark, take care or there will be a loss of material wealth. That, again, I don't know what you're all up to, but it feels like if there's something legal here and you know you're kind of on the wrong side, or like, let's say you, I don't know if it's a premonition, or I'm totally reading this as your energy. Isn't that funny? That came for someone else. So there was a part of the reading that really seemed like them. Own up to anything as well. I feel like, you know, like if you scratch someone's car in the parking lot or something, if you don't take care, there will be a loss of material wealth. But then it feels like, you know, if you are responsible, you do take care of on vacation. Maybe when you're on vacation, you should take care. Shark. Well, that's freaking me out because I'm going on vacation. Everything will be fine. It says everything will be fine, right? I hope this is your reading and not mine, Jeff. Let's see that. Let's see what the tarot has to tell us. Let's see. It almost feels like, too, yeah, I keep going, because there's so much to look at here. Because when I see the most difficult part of a situation is over, and with the law, it's like almost like maybe you have to get the law involved. Or you're getting the law involved in something. And then once you do that, the most difficult part of a situation is over. Oh, you know, this kind of reminds me of a Gemini friend, and I can't remember what it was. Her fiance lent a big whack of money, a few tens of thousands of dollars, to his sister. And this was like a long time ago. And at the time, he had the money to lend, and they really seemed like they needed it. But it was one of those situations where, and I don't know that they would do this, but it kind of feels like that, like maybe you need to get the law involved if there's something that you really need here. Because I think his sister and her husband and kids, they went on all these trips and stuff. They were supposed to pay off a bunch of debt. And anyways, he's never seen the money and he could use it now. And it's almost like that, you know, like maybe there's something here about the law. If you get, so involvement with the law, once you get the law involved, the most difficult part of a situation is kind of over. There's lots to go around. Again, like maybe there is, like maybe this, like his sister has more than enough to pay him back, but won't do it until really pushed to do it. And then you have balance in the situation. Don't poke at the hornet's nest anymore. Once it seems like, it seems to be going in the right direction, just let it go. That's the other thing. Don't know when to be quiet, Gemini. I feel like with that. All right, so let's see here. You got the Four of Swords, the Eight of Cups. Well, there's no involvement at all. And the Two of Wands. You can only dream about involvement. Why not funny? The Four of Swords, the Eight of Cups, and the Two of Wands. Well, then ain't nobody doing nothing over here but fantasizing, maybe. Dreaming. Like, it's exactly what I was kind of feeling before I went to just as I picked up the tarot. This almost like, well, once you get the law involved, then you're going to see some action here. So maybe somebody vandalized something of yours, or, oh, maybe it was a car. I don't know. But they ain't paying up until you get the law involved, I feel like. That's the energy that's around you. Now, are you utilizing that? I don't know. But I kind of feel like there's a bit of a hint of guidance for you here. So now I'm going to pull out a card that sits underneath each one of these. Wall, misunderstanding, the devil. Jesus Christ. That's a hell of a wall. Unsettled times, need to plan ahead. The Three of Wands, well, that seems like good planning. Rainbow, the most difficult part of a situation is over. The Five of Cups. difficult. So something that here that's disappointing. Okay, so you'll be past the most disappointing part here. However disappointed you are, you won't be more disappointed than you already are. So that's good. Plenty of material things with the bowl. Oh, the 4 pet. I'm telling you, it's just like his sister. They took all that money. They were going to, oh, we're going to use it. We have to pay off debt. Our house, we're going to lose the house if we don't pay off this debt, yada, yada, yada. So he lent her the money. And then within a couple of months, they were going like to Disney World, and then they went to Paris. Like, what is going on? There's plenty, regardless of what it may look like. There's plenty to go around. But it's like you need to get the law involved, huh? Yeah. Some people's kids, man. Grasshopper. Situations in the balance that are requiring careful handling. Now, this person is balancing on these rocks. The 7 of Swords. But he might try to be sneaky here. This is. I tell you, humanity is so fascinating. So fascinating. It just feels like somebody definitely has, like, I don't know, somebody done you wrong, somebody owes you money, somebody vandalized something, somebody bumped into your car with theirs, they didn't have insurance. Oh, woe is me, I can't pay, I got no money. Feel like you're getting? Right, there's not much happening, sleeping on it, there's no involvement, the 8 of Cups, the 2 of Wands, maybe just the odd promise that always falls through, or but as soon as you get the law involved, oh, look at this, don't they have some money here? There's plenty to go around. But the 7 of Swords with this balance required here to carefully handle. Maybe they're getting ready to put it into an offshore account or something. I don't know. Crown. Honor and respect will come to you. Now, if I think about the Crown too, this is not necessarily for my American friends. Or I don't think so. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in Canada, so I'm kind of part of the Commonwealth stuff. And like we see the Crown too as part of like the justice system. So, well, that's kind of coming through to me. Like, it's like the justice system is where you will find your honor and respect that will come to you. We just don't wear the funny wigs here. I think they still do that in the UK. The Crown. Honor and respect will come to you. Oh, the Wheel of Fortune. So hopefully it's a change in circumstances. Well, there's not much happening over here. Or maybe there isn't with the courts either. The courts are pretty backed up. I'll tell you that. The Queen of Pentacles, I guess from the pandemic. Oh, the Queen of Pentacles. Wasn't that at the bottom after the pre-shuffle? Just as I held it up, I thought I saw it there. Interesting, right? Like, holding on to that coin. Somebody's holding on to that coin and nurturing it. But, oh, if someone done you dirty, they got to pay up for it. If somebody owes you money and you lent it with the understanding that you would be getting it back, they should pay up for it. I always kind of think, though, you know, if you're going to lend a friend or a close relative money, myself personally, I wouldn't do it unless I knew I could survive without getting that money back, and that I would anticipate not getting it back, because it can really wreck some. Well, I guess you know people then, don't you? I think I've said that before for someone. Okay, gavel, involvement with the law. Gavel. Look at this, the 2 of Swords. See, there's no decision, there's no outcome. Maybe you're dealing with the law and there's no decision, there's no outcome. This is backed up. The 4 of Swords. The 10 of Cups. The 8 of Cups. The Knight of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords. Okay, let me get them all out and look at this. The Two of Wands. The Four of Swords. You just go back to... Oh, and the King of Swords. Holy shit. This does feel like going back and forth. It does feel a little bit like going back and forth in legal stuff. Because it's like you take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. You take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. The Four of Swords and the Ten of Cups, this could have something to do with a family situation. The Eight of Cups with the Knight of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, and then the Ten of Swords. It's like, yeah, there you go. So you start taking these steps forward. This progress is being made. We got work being done here. And then either maybe you feel backstabbed or that just comes to a sudden end with the Ten of Swords. So then you're kind of left, you know, hoping and wondering and wishing with the Two of Wands. And then you're back there with the Four of Swords again. But then the King of Swords comes in. All right, like you could be a judge, a lawyer, a doctor, a dentist, some sort of a professional who follows kind of the rules of decorum, the laws, the crown. I got lost a few Australian friends and New Zealanders too. Do you guys like the crown? Is that like we even call it like government land, like crown land? I don't know. You know, just as a little information from our Americano friends there. Okay. Now let's look at this. Yeah, so this, so that's what's going on now. But so, the crown, something's going to happen with the crown. Misunderstanding, a wall, the devil. But, you know, that's why you usually need the law. Because everybody sees things from their own perspective. And neither wants to peek over the wall and see what's really going on the other side. The devil, misunderstanding, the wall. High Priestess, Five of Swords, and the Ten of Wands. Yeah, that kind of feels like, you know, there's definitely some unknown things here that haven't been shown or haven't been revealed, and things being cut out, and the burden of carrying this. So maybe communication has been cut out, or somebody's tired of carrying perhaps a financial burden. That scenario of having lent someone money. Kangaroo, unsettled times, need to plan ahead, and you have the Three of Wands. So I kind of feel like with need to plan ahead and this Three of Wands, like things are coming in, information coming in, information coming in, information going out. So it does feel like in the future, if you've had this back and forth where you take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, 2 steps forward and 2 steps back, 1 step forward and 1 step back, that something starts going here. And then rainbow, the most difficult part of a situation is over, the Five of Cups. It's kind of like you can just, I really feel like however disappointed you are at this point, you won't be further disappointed. The Five of Cups. And an emotional disappointment too. Like if you're dealing with family, you know, like a sibling or something like that, you might be disappointed in, you know, how people change when it comes to involvements with money. The Eight of Swords and the Page of Swords. Wow, what you can't see will become, you'll see it. You will see. So whatever you can't see that's going on, you will be privy to it. You'll see what's happening here. Oh, did I not clarify this Three of Wands? I talked about it and then went over here to the rainbow. Well, let's see, the Three of Wands, that's funny. The Three of Wands. The Queen of Swords, there's the companion. So there's perhaps your, you might have 2 counsels, the lawyer and the judge, or the lawyer and their, what do you call it? Oh, look at that. Look at that. The World. Interesting. Almost like something becomes permanently cut out or finalized or seen right here. What you can't see, you can see. What you don't know, you will know. The Bull. Plenty of material things with this Four of Pentacles hanging on. Four of Pentacles. The Queen of Cups. Oh, the Queen of Cups. The Ace of Cups. Well, maybe. That feels like a brand new beginning. It just feels much better. It feels much better. You're going to feel better. You're going to feel good. Because you go from the Five of Cups into like feeling like there's abundance. So now you feel like there's abundance. So if there's something that you're dealing with legally and it's made you feel like a little bit constrained, you start to feel abundance. And you kind of, it's almost like a loosening in your chest first. So, you know, like too, sometimes if money is tight or something's going on financially, or you don't know what end of a ruling or something you could end up on, you kind of like have that anxiety that kind of sits, yeah, like, oh, and look at, actually, yeah, the 10 of Wands carrying it in front. It's like, oh, it's heavy. You feel it on your chest. So even too, I feel like involvement with the law, there's a lot of ways this could come up. Like if you want to, like legal binding, if you're even getting a loan or something like that, a bank loan or a mortgage, it's all a legal document, right? So there's a lot of ways this could be coming through. If you're feeling like you won't get approved for something that you're hoping that you would, I mean, it looks good. You're going to feel much better. But this, with the Seven of Swords, situations in the balance that require careful handling. I want to say there's probably some sort of a compromise. Right? Like we always seem to need to compromise, especially if you're dealing with multiple parties, to kind of meet in the middle so everyone sits on the fence, on the wall. If you don't, perhaps, you might get this Seven of Swords energy coming around where someone says, oh, offshore account, or nope, not approved, or nope, not happening, or you might end up back at the 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Okay, situations requiring balance, careful handling, Seven of Swords. Get the Page of Wands and the 8 of Cups. I can't make this up. This. Yeah, like depending on the communication, somebody could just walk away. Like, I'm not doing this. Someone could just walk away. So keep your head level, Gemini. I know you all got good mouthpiece on you. Go in biting your tongue, whatever it is. Bite your tongue. Count to 10. I just loosened wax. There, put wax in your mouth. It'll keep your mouth busy. Count to 10 before you say anything. Think it out. Seek your counsel. This is the little tricky part. There's plenty to go around. But I do feel like to keep some sort of balance here where everyone is, you know, no one's, I feel like, going to come out and say, I won this. Yes, I got everything I was owed, or I stopped them from getting anything. It feels more like everyone like, okay. Okay, just keep that. Otherwise, you're going to go back to this. Someone's finding a new path here to walk away. Honor and respect will come to you through the crown, though. With the crown, and you'll be crowned queen or king. Oh, yeah, see? And then you can hold on to your little pentacle and hug it. The Wheel of Fortune. Honor and respect will come to you. Look, it is you, because the Lover's card came out. There's your card. The Three of Swords. Wow. That's an interesting way to honor and respect. I would imagine, I mean, because we're talking about changing a circumstance. So better choices being made that prevent like heartbreak and disappointment. Can we clarify the Three of Swords? Clarify the Three of Swords for Gemini. Oh, King of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. We got the King and Queen of Pentacles here. Honor and respect you. Thou shalt be crowned and find a new kingdom. As an overall energy, with everything that's out on the table now, it feels as though, even if you're not dealing with the law, although probably have tuned out by now, if you're not, because I've said it so many times, that you could just be dealing with karmic justice, I mean, it could just be karmic justice. And things that have been difficult where there hasn't been balance before, that you will be finding that. You will get this balance. There will be a shift or a change here. And what's the bottom now? The Ace of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. Well, that's nice. It feels like kind of a new, clear beginning about the steps you need to take to move forward in a way that feels really good. That's building things between you and perhaps others from the past. Or it is like at least seeing things clearly to move forward for yourself in terms of your soul's quest, soulmates, all that stuff. So I don't know what kind of trouble you all are in. I'm going to go do the extended, Gemini. In the extended, I'm going to look at the blind spot. So what the blind spot is that you don't see. Thank you so much, Gem. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.